I know it's 2020 and I'm doing a guide on Killer Leatherface. Here's the thing. All the guides on YouTube on Killer Leatherface suck fucking dick. They just do. All these guides are is people doing these unrealistic ass combos to some fucking bum ass EDM music. They could play some Mobb Deep or some fucking Big L or some Sepultura. No, they play some shitty ass EDM music, and it's like, dude, most of those combos, it's just not gonna happen. I'm sorry, people like good Leatherface players just don't do shit like that. It's just unrealistic. How are you guys gonna teach me what's good about this character? They make this character seem like he's really good, but this character fucking struggles. But we can make him work. I'm gonna show you how to make this character work. Because, fun fact, this is one of my mains in Mortal Kombat X. So, let's get right into it. So, Leatherface only has 2 mids that are not his pokes. Only 2 mids. And they're fucking terrible. What the fuck is this? It's like his first day attempting to be a UFC fighter. This shit is trash. This sorry ass push kick. Oh, oh god, it's pretty bad. These are his only mids. Everything else is just no. This right here is his low, but it comes out at 17 frames. It's pretty slow. So that's one of Leatherface's biggest problems. He doesn't have fast buttons. But what he does have, he has a pretty good high, 7 frames, and it has really good range. This is your Punisher right here. Like, this is where you get all your fucking damage from. And then your fucking stagger game, too. He has this one that goes into an overhead. There's so many mind games that we're going to get into. He has this. That's really good. I really like the range on it. It's an overhead. It's pretty good. And then everything else, he just kind of has, it's kind of slow. This is kind of slow, but if you know how to use it right, it could work mid-screen or on wake-up. This, too, I love doing this on wake-up. You can get a shit ton of damage with that, but there's that. So, Leatherface has really bad mids, but he has pretty good highs. What about his pokes? He has really good pokes, except his down 4 is kind of dog shit. I don't like it. I don't fucking like it. It's unsafe. It takes forever to come out, and it to me is just not worth it. But the thing about Leatherface in this variation that makes him really scary is that he could, from his pokes, he can go into his stance. And what his stance has is this move right here. That move is, I call it the torture chamber, because you have to watch your fucking your opponent has to watch their character just get fucking rimmed to death. Like, holy shit. When they get caught with this and they see that enhancement and they get clipped, boom, they have to guess what the fuck you're gonna do from there. It is like, they're fucked. They are in the torture chamber. So there's that. But here's the thing about his pokes that are really scary. The reason why Leatherface pokes are really scary in this variation is that you can go into this from a poke and go into this. So here's the thing. Put our point on auto just for sake. This move is completely safe. You're -8 and there's a shit ton of pushback, which is pretty awesome. But when I throw that poke and I go into it, if your opponent tries to jump, press any button that's not holding the block button like a little, if he's not holding the block button like a little bitch, he's going to get clipped hard, really fucking hard. So every time you throw a poke, it's a mind game. You can do savage shit like go into an overhead, go into a low, be completely safe, and do this, B +1, and then do savagery shit like this and go into grabs. Because the reason why you can get away with it is because they don't want to get hit like that. There's nothing they can't jump out of it. There's nothing that they can do. Even this or a down 1 doesn't fucking matter. You do that, and then you go into the fucking torture chamber, right? So there's that. His pokes, mind game is really fucking strong, and this shit comes out in 6 frames, and this comes out in 7. Really good fucking pokes. So that's what makes Leatherface really scary in this variation off of his pokes, and it makes up for his shitty ass mids, which I'm completely fine with, because I never even use them because they're really bad. So there's that. So Leatherface has a stance that can go into that move that I was showing you, where he puts you in the torture chamber, and he has another really dope move that's called, I call it the triple homie. So here's the thing about the triple homie. You're always going to want to enhance it, because if you hit your opponent, you're actually -1. You are -1. I pretty sure you are -1. You are -1. If your opponent blocks it, you don't enhance it, you're -12. But if you enhance it, you're +1, which is awesome because you have a 6 rank poke, and you can just do the poke and then go into your fucking, to the torture chamber just after you enhance it, boom, go into that, and it's like just pressure all over again. Like, dude, it's not your turn, bitch. Wait your fucking turn. And here's the thing, if you do land it, it's still your turn. What I love to do, I love to just run up and then throw my overhead. Because sometimes if you mistime it, you could if your opponent decides to jump out, you could actually anti-air them. But here's the thing, if you mistime it, they could actually jump out. So my favorite thing to do is run and clip them with the overhead, just letting them know, hey, it's not your fucking turn, dude. Like, relax. It's not your turn. Or you could just be a straight up G and then go into the fucking torture chamber move. So there's that. So that move is really dope. Doing it in this string is one of my favorites. So there's that. The other move that he has is an unblockable. Right? And you get really good damage, but what you're going to want to use the unblockable for is to cancel out of it, because you could cancel out of it. Sorry. And you can get your grab game going, which is really terrifying, especially in this game. So the string that you're really going to want to mix everything what I showed you is, this is your main punisher. In this string right here, you should just be doing this motherfucker right here. That should be your go-to with that string. Even if they block both hits, you should do it because you're completely safe. But in this string is dangerous. This is a very dangerous string. First of all, you're +1, meaning you throw this, you go into your poke, and then you can do the torture chamber. You can do something like boom, boom, do something like that and completely throw them off. Complete mind games, or stagger it into a freaking grab, whatever, right? Because doing this is, you're like -1,000,000, you're gonna get fucking punished. Or doing this -11, it is, you can get punished by good players. So there's that. But what makes this string dangerous is that you have my favorite mix-up in the entire game. I love this mix-up. It catches everyone off. Just overhead low, people get caught. Another cool thing to do is 1, 2, and then go into the triple homie and be completely safe. Or, like I said, boom. Sorry. Oh, god damn it. Alright, so it is boom. Sorry. How do I? And then you grab him. Sorry, I'm really rusty. But doing the... Let me check my settings. Let's do short inputs on. So, let's see. Alright. And then you grab them. Sorry, I'm super rusty. That's where this string is gonna be good. Because your opponent, it has to guess whether you're gonna go into this, let the string rock, or if you're gonna go in for this, be completely +1, or if you're gonna just mix this shit up, or if you're just gonna do this into that, or this into a grab. It's a complete mind game. It really just kind of just makes it a long night for your fucking opponent, basically, because you have a ton of options off of that. You really get to mix your opponent's shit up with that. So there's that. So yeah, that's one thing that's really good about Leatherface, is that his highs they're all meant for something. This one is just an oppressing high because your opponent has to guess what you're going to do. And he could be +1. I want to say that that shit is +2. You're +2. And you have a 6-frame poke. Good luck for your opponent if he wants to fucking mash. So, yeah, there's that. All his other buttons, I like to do this for wake up. I love doing that for wake up, especially doing this, being completely safe from an overhead. Even this overhead and going into this can be good sometimes. Just from a long range, just boom. It has incredible range, pretty slow. But there's that. You can go into that or into a fucking overhead, whatever the case may be. So there's that. And then Leatherface is just an anti-air god. If you try to jump at him, like, he could have this shit come out like it's fucking nothing. This is a really good anti-air, and this is a really good anti-air. And then if he anti-airs you, you really get hit really fucking hard. And then here's the thing about when you get your damage, right? So I'm gonna get him combo, right? So boom, I do this. From right here, they lose 30%, and then if I were to go in, they're gonna lose 40% off of that, right? But what a lot of players like to do is that they like to do the chainsaw cancel. Let me. And then they'll grab you or they'll start pressuring you from right there. Another thing that you can do is once you get them in like this position right here, do this and then go in for a grab. Or what I also like to do is do this and then a 50-50, or go for it again, or just boom, do this and then boom, go in for that and do a vortex maybe. You could definitely do vortexes with Leatherface. Or once you get him in this position right here, you can just completely space your opponent out. You could just run and then go in for a low and do that, or this. So he has basically all possible mix-ups. So once you get him into this, you can go into a double low, into a low into an overhead, into a overhead into an overhead. You can go from an overhead low, like all the possibilities. You can get your grab game going. It's all there. You could absolutely do that. Like I'm saying, once that gutted move is landed, your opponent is fucked. I wouldn't really recommend doing like this move, you know, just like that. I think it's meant for a combo ender for a freaking reason. Maybe you want to pressure your opponent, and then you can start doing stuff like this for whatever reason. But for the most part, it's a combo ender. That is what it should be used for. So yeah, there's that. So yeah, this is just gonna be part 1 of the guide. I'm gonna be doing a part 2 guide later on. I'm gonna do some guides on some other characters. So yeah, I'll check you bastards later. I'll holla back. Check you guys later. Deuces.